City of Santa Fe, March 4th, 2014, Counselor Candidates. Question 3. How are you going to increase revenue to support growth, city programs, employee salaries and benefits, needed labor that provides the services with looming economic shortfall, also unstable GRTs, and the upcoming revenue loss resulting from the state's budget, which eliminated the hold harmless subsidy? Carmichael A. Dominguez.
The hold harmless subsidy is something that is looming in local governments and local revenues, and that is something that is of grave concern. The state of New Mexico is now going to require the city of Santa Fe, at least, to pay back in the next year $600,000, and then increasing that to $1.2 million the year after that, and so on and so forth. And so we need to make sure that we pay attention to what it is that they are doing at the state legislature. And we need to also lobby them to make sure that they potentially take the hold harmless clause away. And so those are some of the things that we need to take care of and we need to pay attention to, because they are huge burdens, if you will, on our local economy. Now, the other thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that we have grown by $2 million this year over the same time last year. And so we need to keep on that track. There are things like the government shutdown that has an impact, but and although we need to pay attention to those, we need to continue to strive to create a strong local economy. We need to make sure that we do not raise GRTs. We need to make sure that we have a sound government and that we have an efficient government, and that also employees have the resources that they need to be able to provide the services that constituents want. And so it's important for us to continue, again, to have good paying jobs in this community, so that they will contribute to that GRT and that we can have a strong local economy.
Angelo Jaramillo.
One thing the city needs to really look closely at and carefully at is doing any arbitrary or irresponsible increases in GRTs or service rates or anything that affects our working people and the consumer-based economy, to where our consumers feel that they do not have the purchasing power anymore to be able to go in and increase the GRT base just by the purchasing power. I think what's happening right now is we're in a reactionary mode to where a lot of our little guys out there, or just people trying to make a living or on tight budgets, are not able to really make it. And some of them have to make very tough decisions. But that being said, I think we need to do a citywide strategy to where we're really consolidating those partnerships. We're really looking at the city budget first and foremost and prioritizing our allocations to what kind of programs are we going to fund in terms of youth development, in terms of helping nonprofits that provide the adequate social services to be able to empower working people through a progressive living wage and an honest and progressive tax base. I think we need to also look at our tourist industry, particularly the hotels. And I know that there's a certain tax component to the way our hotels do business, and making sure that however we're supporting big business, again, we're generating that revenue to put back into the communities and to be able to increase the purchasing power of the consumer by making sure we have an educated workforce and a strong consumer base.
This is the end of question 3 for participating counselor candidates.